In the previous tutorial, we have discussed unsupervised learning in detail. We have studied how unsupervised learning can be used to find and understand interesting patterns in a dataset. So, if we have unlabeled dataset and we want to find some interesting patterns in it, we use unsupervised learning. So one way of understanding patterns is to do clustering. So in this tutorial, we will discuss what is clustering, what is cluster analysis, and we will also discuss and I will give some examples to explain what exactly is clustering. In the future tutorials, we will discuss some clustering algorithms like k-means clustering. We will discuss the applications of clustering, and in this manner, we will be able to do the unsupervised learning. So let's start with the cluster analysis with the help of an example. So I'm going to give you a very simple example to understand what is clustering and how it is done. So let's suppose I have a box here. Let's suppose I have a box. Let's suppose this is a box. And inside this box, I have some shapes inside this box, right? So I have some shapes inside this box, and let's suppose I have some shapes of triangle. It can be an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, or it has different types of triangles with different dimensions, right? And it is in my whole, it is inside my box. Then I have some more figures, like I have some square, rectangles of different shapes like this. And finally, I have some circles inside this box of different sizes like this. You can see here. Let me add some more shapes here. So inside this box, I have different shapes, right? So what I try to do is I will try to make three clusters or three groups, and in these clusters, basically clusters are groups only, so in these clusters I will try to place the shapes in the order of similarity. So we know that these are the triangles with different shapes, and I will assign them in a single cluster, right? So all the triangles with different shapes, I'm going to assign them inside this cluster. All the circles with different shapes and sizes will be assigned to this one, and then finally I will assign up all the squares and rectangles like here. So now you can see what I'm trying to achieve is, in this whole box I have different shapes and I am assigning them to different clusters because these shapes are similar to each other. You can see triangles have three sides, so they are similar to each other. Circles are there, and there are squares and rectangles in these clusters. So what I'm trying to do is, let's suppose we have we can make an analogy here. Let's suppose we have a unlabeled data set. I have an unlabeled data set, and if I try to plot that data set in a graph like this, let's suppose this is my graph, and I will try to plot some points of that unlabeled data set in this graph like this, and I will also make some points here. Alright, so let's suppose I have this unlabeled data set on this graph. Now in clustering, what we do is we find the similarity among the data objects of the unlabeled data set, and we try to do the clustering, which is to organize them in different clusters. So after clustering, this graph will look something like this. So you can see here these points, or I will just mark it here. So after clustering, I will run a clustering algorithm. Basically, a clustering algorithm is used to convert the whole unlabeled data set into different clusters, right? So this is done by different clustering algorithms, which we will study in the future tutorials. One of the algorithms is the k-means clustering, which uh, converts the whole data set into k clusters, k number of clusters. So let's suppose I have an unlabeled data set like this. After running a clustering algorithm on this graph, it will be able to find out different clusters in this data set. So let's suppose this is the first cluster, or let's include this point also. This is the first cluster, and let's suppose this is our second cluster, which is here, and let's suppose we have another cluster which is the last one, which is here. So in this manner, we can actually convert a unlabeled data set, and we can convert it into different clusters. Now there are some important points about clustering analysis. There are some important facts which we can look in this graph. Now there are two important terms, which is the inter cluster distances, and the second term is the intra cluster distances. So the clustering algorithms convert this whole data set, and it assigns them these clusters on the basis of the inter cluster and intra cluster distances, right? So let's see what is intra cluster distances first. So inside a cluster, you can see inside this cluster, you can see these are the data points. So the distance between these data points is known as the intra-cluster distances. So this is basically the intra-cluster distances, and the distance between two clusters, two different clusters, for example, this cluster and this cluster, we have some distance here. Now this is known as inter-cluster distances. So one thing that a cluster algorithm does is reduce the intra-cluster distances, so that if you will reduce the intra-cluster distances, you will be able to find out that those points are actually similar or more similar to each other. The lower, the lesser the intra distances is, the higher the intercluster distances will be, right? So if you will shrink down this whole cluster, you will reduce these intra-cluster distances, and you increase the inter-cluster distances, you will be able to actually get these clusters which are far away from each other. So in this same graph, I can also obtain some different clusters are also there. For example, we can create a cluster which is this one, and I can create one cluster like this. So clustering is actually a lot ambiguous. Clustering is ambiguous in nature because even we do not know how to create these clusters, how there is no specific method of creating these clusters, right? So it is ambiguous to create the clusters, but there are algorithms which will try to find out the distances among the objects and find out similarities among the data points and the dissimilarities between the clusters to find the different types of clusters. Now the important thing is that if we are running a clustering algorithm and we are doing different types of clustering, so if we have some new data, or I should say if I have some new data object or a new data point, right? So I can, if let's suppose we have a point, I will create a green point here. Now let's suppose there is a green point somewhat here. Now this green point is having, you can see the distance of this green point from this cluster is this much, and it is this much, and from this cluster it is large enough. So if I have some new data object or new data point, I can actually tell how much similar it is with respect to this cluster, this cluster, and this cluster. So this data point is so much near to this cluster, so I can actually tell that this cluster is this point actually is similar to this cluster. So that's a very essential point, and this is what helps in achieving unsupervised learning. And we will actually create the clusters to achieve this, to tell whether this new data object or point is belonging to which cluster. Now in the next tutorial, we will discuss what are the applications of clustering. We will first discuss the applications of the clustering. Then we will study what are the different types of clusters. So even these clusters have different types. We will study them. Then we are going to essentially move on to the clustering algorithms, and we will study the different types of clustering algorithms like k-means clustering. And basically a k-means clustering will be able to help us convert the whole data set, the whole unlabeled data set, into different clusters. So that's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.